Echo, play lo-fi music.
The station, Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio, on Amazon Music.
I'm glad you're here, Pix. I got an announcement for channel members that I wanted to make, and you're probably going to be the first one to hear it. I think other people in that time zone might pop in, like the one from the past. And Nick the Salamander's been super active in my live stream chats, so maybe he'll be around too. But yeah, big announcement of something that I've been developing kind of quietly behind the scenes. You might have had fallen off a little bit. I'm working on. Hey, Ruben. Hey, Dracolik. Did you hear what the senator said last week? No, I did not. I don't listen to hip hop. So I'm using Skaven Blight Dinge to base coat this rock. And by the way, these miniatures are from A Song of Ice and Fire, the miniatures game. I linked it in the video. You might have seen the affiliate ad pop up. It's the Mother of Dragons set. So if this set looks good to you and you decide to go out and buy it, I hope you use my affiliate link. And that way my studio can get a little bit of compensation and commission to help me continue to do my good work. I love this rock. See, this is how you do a tactical rock, GW. You make it look like a random, naturally occurring piece of nature. The dragon's got that dope salamander's color. Yeah. So I've been working on trying to develop a good salamander's color because I don't really care for the bright Warhammer 40k salamander color. So I found what I really like is using Echo, volume down 2 times. I like using like spray coating, spray priming the model white, and then using orc flesh as a base coat, and that's that darker warpstone glow green. And then this lighter minty green is actually cabalite green and then sybarite green. And if you apply it correctly while keeping the darker greens in the shadows and the shades and the crevasses, then you don't have to worry about doing like a glaze or a shade. You can if you want, but you know, it's up to you. If you guys enjoy the stream, I hope you consider becoming a channel member. That would help me a lot more than if you just decide to throw up a super chat. But if you do decide to donate a super chat, I would love that as well. That would be terrific. All right, before I put the black on the rim, we're going to decorate our dragon's base. And we're going to do that with this product from Geek Gaming Scenics. It's called Patchy Plains, and I love it. I love it for doing any kind of wilderness mountain. It's got a mixture of rocks and like grit and dirt and static grass. It looks terrific. It looks perfectly natural in keeping with whatever vibe of like a terrain you've got. And I'll tell you a little story while I do this. I used to really care about how my model's bases looked. I really went out of my way to find like certain kind of ballast and mixtures, and I wanted to create certain effects by painting the rocks and the sand a certain color. And it became a whole nother process. So it was almost as involved as painting the miniatures themselves. So when I found Geek Gaming Scenics, was like, oh, this is perfect. It's base ready. All I have to do is just put some glue on the base and then just dip them in this product. So along with the actual basing material itself, I've found that using their glue is really good too. So it's this Geek Gaming fast drying basing glue. Now I'm not an affiliate of Geek Gaming Scenics, so if you decide to go out and get it, then I'm gonna get any kind of compensation for it, but it is terrific. It is really, really good. Hi, Ruben. So as you can see, there is Geek Gaming Scenic stuff is brilliant. Yes, Bernard, totally agree. I'm going to show you why it's so good. So this model range, Song of Ice and Fire miniatures, it has sculpted onto the base all this rocks, right? And old War Boss Tay, the old me, would have just taken some glue and dipped it like here and there around the rocks, then dipped it in some sand, right? So that I get some sand going, and then I just dry brush so that I'd have sand texture along with this sculpted texture. Then I just dry brush like Mornfang Brown, and then Steel Legion Drab, and then Rack Hearth Flesh. And then I take my grass and I put little dabs of glue here and there. And then I'd take my tweezers and I'd put the grass only in that certain area. With Geek Gaming Basics, it is so easy. What am I doing? This is the wrong base. All you have to do is put some glue down and then dip it into the tub. And I will show you exactly what I mean. Like I said, I really like this glue. You could just use Elmer's glue or white PVA glue, but this stuff is brilliant. Bernard, what kind of products have you used? Because I've also used their like my go-to for doing scenics stuff in Warhammer 40K is their Grim Dark City Ruins. Or City Rubble, Grim Dark City Rubble. It's like a black, grayish mixture of like sand and rocks. It's just terrific. But I really love this patchy plains for doing anything in fantasy where you're in the wilderness. You don't have to cover the entire base. Like I like how there's different levels and textures and surfaces. But if you want, you could just like put glue in some certain areas and still do the whole dry brush the rocks thing. But I'll tell you guys, I am a dad. And as a dad, I do not have the time to be messing around. Like I have to cut certain corners of my hobby now. And basing is a corner that I cut. I'm gonna put it here. Give it a little twist. And this part you can just apply however you want. It actually comes to you in a plastic bag. So that's the only issue I have with this product, is it not packaged for use very well. Like you have to put it into a separate tub or container. I would not recommend leaving it in the plastic bag because it doesn't even seal like a Ziploc bag. It is literally a plastic bag that you cut open and all this basing material is inside. So I would definitely get it onto or into like a tub like this. This is just like a little do-it-yourself jewelry thing, or like a tackle container, I don't know. And then, yeah, you don't have to worry about it spilling everywhere. The lad that runs it as a YouTube channel that covers the different stuff he uses the products for. Oh, okay, cool. The Martian Earth for my Plague Marines looks great. I have seen that. I've actually looked at that Martian Earth one and I was like, I want to build an army just so that I can use this product because it looks so good. And see, you have a natural looking wilderness finish that looks random and alive. And what I'm going to do later, once this dries a little bit, is I'm going to take my other basing product, this Gale Force 9 Hobby Blend, or Hobby Round Meadow Blend Flock. And you see it's got some grassy bits at the bottom, but I'm really going to be using it for this bush, kind of like undergrowth, spongy texture thing at the top. And I'm gonna put that in various places, and then it's gonna look like this. Have a little bit of undergrowth mixed into the sand and the grass and the rocks. Terrific. Basing done, and it looks natural, it looks fantastic. It looks like it's well thought out and planned, meticulously, not articulately. And it's not, it's just randomly how you dipped it into the bag, and that's it. I've included in the description of my video, if you guys want to check it out, the description of this live is a link to a set of brushes from Golden Maple Brushes. And I've been using them for all of my detail work, as well as all of the base coats and the washes, just to see, like, you know, put it through its paces, right? So from the size 4 here, which is great for base coats and washes, down to the size 1, and all the way down to the size 2/0, which is my favorite brush for doing fine detail work. I mention it because some of these effects you see, you've seen me do it, I really have taken to using the fine detail Golden Maple brush. So if you want a set for yourself, it's like a great set for a beginner painter or even an intermediate painter that wants to have like every brush you could possibly need. It also comes with 3 dry brushes, big ones like the size 6 for a tank or terrain piece, and then going down to a dry brush that you could use for like a character's cloak or something. All right, that's my plug for Golden Maple brushes. It's seriously one of the best brush sets that I've ever used. I used to have a Vallejo workhorse brush that, interestingly enough, my lady boss, my wife, wanted to help me paint one night. And so I was like, really? And she said, yeah, I'll help you get some more work done if I help you. So I was like, okay. So I let her paint some of my Black Templars Crusader squad. And I was like, just, you know, apply this cream color to the cloth. And she was like, that's it? I can do that. That's so easy. I was like, oh, I'm so happy. My wife wants to help me at the hobby table. And then I had to go take care of my daughters because they were crying, and I had to go and rock them back to sleep. And then I fell asleep in the nursery. And then in the morning, I wake up and I go back to my hobby desk. Rackhearth flesh, wraithbone, pots open, paint dried up. And then she left my brush with like Rackhearth flesh on it, just like sitting on the side. I guess she got bored and decided to go off and do something else. And I asked her about it. I was like, babe, that brush, I think it's ruined. She's like, no, it's not. Just dip it in water. And I was like, oh, press F to pay respects to my Vallejo precision brushes. It was a good set. That Vallejo set actually got me through most of my projects until I got this Golden Demon set. Like I really used that precision brush from Vallejo. It was like my workhorse brush. And now Golden Maple has pretty much replaced it. There's no reason I have to use another brush again. As long as you enjoy what you're doing, that's what counts. Yep, I agree. I agree, as long as you're doing what you enjoy. What are you using? Bernard, I'm using Patchy Plains. Yellow Catman, love the contrast between the lore of 90% of Space Marine chapters and then the Black Templar. Yeah. After the heresy, they said, hey, you got to follow these rules. You can only have so many Marines unless you're on a space crusade. And they said, well, I guess we're going on a space crusade, boys. And then they threw up both middle fingers and flew away on their spaceships. All right, Drogon, look at you, you handsome devil. You are the last dragon in my 3 dragon set. Let's paint you up before the end of the stream. What do you guys say? Yes. And we're gonna use a Golden Maple dry brush. I don't think I'm gonna use that big one, that big honking one. I'm gonna use this size 5 dry brush. And A friggin' Walmart tube of black paint. Nick the Salad. I was just talking about you, man. I was just talking about you. Pick showed up in the chat earlier, and I was like, I have an announcement to make that's going to really interest my channel members. Hopefully, get some more people to join up as channel members and supporters. And I was like, I bet the one from the past might hop in. I was like, Nick the Salamander's he's been showing up in my lives lately. Somebody time me, see how long this takes me. So yeah, this project that I'm working on, I wanted to bring back the essence of the old Hobbiton idea that I have, where there is this mythical place called Hobbiton, where we can all gather. It's basically Discord, but the lore is that this place called Hobbiton is where we can gather, swap stories, like adventurers meeting at a town shrouded in mist and fog before we set out on our own separate quests and adventures, right? So I was like, how can I incorporate that into my primary goal as a YouTuber is to help people to paint their armies. And I was like, what if we develop Hobbiton as like a location that you can like do quests in, and it's almost like a game, like a MMO RPG, not quite, but it would have different seasons. So like we're going into the fall season after this big Great Crusade of the summer ends. I can't really reach these insides of the wings, so I'm gonna be moving to a different brush to paint Drogon's wings. And I think I've developed a series of products that are gonna help people to finish their projects and get a lot done with their painting. It's going to help to demystify and encourage people and get organized and structured for not only smashing through their piles of shame, but also like if you're planning a new army and you want to really be structured and disciplined and focused so you don't lose your way, because I think a lot of us love the thrill of starting a new army, getting into a new game or whatever, but when it comes to the painting side of it, it's just not as easy to hold our interest, right? So I think I've developed a series of products that are going to help out with it. So if you want to be a part of it, I'm going to have what's called like a soft launch to give to my Discord, to my, not my Discord, like select members of the Discord, but mainly to my YouTube channel members are going to help me test it out. And the whole concept of the game and setting goals, and it's kind of like a challenge, but not really. It's like a bunch of things. It's like a challenge. It's like a MMORPG. There's going to be clues. There's going to be like a map of the village of Hobbiton and the surrounding area. It's going to be like an RPG. And you're going to gamify it. We're going to give you badges, and I'm developing a whole section of the Discord around it so that if you want to take part, you can go on quests, i.e. like painting projects to paint your pile of shame, or to like paint up a whole new army. And as you complete your quests or whatever, then you'll get different badges, different rewards, and whatever. But it's mainly just to help people, because my whole shtick, like I said, my whole reason I feel my calling as a content creator is to help people to buckle down, lock in miniatures. So if you guys, then please, by all means, become a channel member, because channel members have access to like early access to everything that I'm developing in this first part, this season 1. And then as the seasons move on, it's kind of like a video game where you have like different seasons, right? Then future future seasons are going to be more products coming out, more fun ways to engage and interact. And I'm bringing the boys out for this one. I'm bringing Igor, Lewis, Commissar Bane. They're all going to have parts to play in the rollout. Yeah, Hobbiton's going to have like a full-on map and different locations, different ruins where you can go adventuring in. It's a whole system. It's kind of hard to explain without really giving anything away, but let's just say that this whole Great Crusade has really opened my eyes to what I want to do as a content creator. And it wouldn't be possible without channel members. So to the ones of you out there who are channel members, if you're watching this live stream later in the future, and this can convince you or inspire you to join, then I hope you do. I hope you join me as a channel member, even at the low price of $2.99 a month. If I could get like, 500 channel members, then that would mean like that I could really devote all my time. Like I wouldn't have to worry about things like my whole, I feel like my whole calling is really to do this, to help people. So anyways, that's it for that. Who would win in a fight, Commissar Yarrick or Slimar, bro? I would say if it was a straight up fight and Sly Marble couldn't be sly and sneaky, then probably Commissar Yarrick. He's got that old Bale Eye and that Power Claw. We gotta let Drogon drive for a little bit, but while we do, let me see. Yeah, it would be a draw, but the planet is ruined. Oh, Marble is a better fighter. Yarrick's got all that fancy stuff, though. He's got that, doesn't he have that laser eye? He's got that Kano eye. I love the new Marble figure, though. It looks really good. And that just makes me think, like, how sad that Games Workshop hasn't really done anything with the Catechins since the last Imperial Guard release, back when they were known as the Imperial Guard. When they did, what did they do? Their command squad. They gave them a new command squad. Just getting all the paint off of my dry brush. Take care of your gear, and they'll take care of you. I really liked when they re-released, or when they rebooted and upgraded the Catechins with the Catechin Command Squad. It looks so good. Like, it actually looked in line with the current Guard models at the time. And you can really tell, you can really see the age in the Catechin figures now. Look at that, that looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. All right, Drogon, you old dog. I am going to let you dry for a minute more, and then we're gonna dry brush some Corvus Black. Now, earlier I mentioned that you should just get a black paint from Walmart or Target or anywhere that sells like arts and crafts supplies, because it's perfect. It's acrylic. Games Workshop paint is acrylic, and it's all the same. But you pay $4 for this, and it's way more than like an $8, $9 pot of Games Workshop paint. But Corvus Black is a beautiful step up as a highlight. So, pro tip, if you paint any black armored models, if you collect Iron Hands, Raven Guard, or Black Templar, Black Legion, then Corvus Black is, it should be in your kit. You should have it in your paint because it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful step up. It's not as light of a color as Mechanicus Standard Gray. as black. It's less like a really dark gray, which is perfect. Pix, you've got the new I think that's month 3. Is that the month 3 icon next to your name? Nick the Salamander's got the gray paint drop, which I think is going to change pretty soon. They change every month. So the gray paint drop is month 1 supporter icon. But Pix, I think that's the 3 month. I'm not sure. I have to check. Or 2 is the 2 or 3 month icon. I think the 2 is all of my badges and stuff, as well as like emojis and badges and icons. Like I'm really hoping to integrate this new Hobbiton system into my my overall branding on my channel. All right, I think Drogon's had enough time in the light to dry off a bit. Yeah, he still looks a little wet, but I'm gonna just get to work with this highlight. So again, I'm using my size 5 golden maple dry brush. I'm wicking off as much of the paint as I can. Pix, I've gotten a bit sidetracked through the summer, but I've finally started to work on terrain for a proper gaming table. Nice, I have some 40K ruins to work on and I've painted on a sandbag obstacle. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, welcome Papa Smurf if you're watching the live stream. I just saw that you joined my Discord. Yeah, if you guys aren't on my Discord, then please do, because that also helps you keep up to date with everything that I'm doing. And I don't know if you guys have the I recently started a TikTok channel as well. And the content I want to keep different, so that if you want the entire Warboss Tay, what's the word, media experience, that you subscribe to me across different stuff. But if you're not looking for certain things, like I want my TikTok to not be as focused on the technical part of the hobby, like actually painting. TikTok would more for me to put like humorous videos and motivational videos, especially like dad motivation. So like if you're a dad in the hobby, and I think that might be a fun place to see some content from me. But if you want like tutorials and how-tos and more like unboxing and reviews, I just filmed and edited and rendered a video for my Sunfire dragon. He's supposed to be Viserion in the Mother of Dragons box, but my client asked that I paint him up as Sunfire, so I did a whole video on how to paint a gold dragon. Doesn't matter what and from what model miniature range, the same techniques would be used for any model. So that'll be out soon and only on my YouTube. So if you want to join me on TikTok, it's Warboss Tay, and again, it's different flavors of stuff for different avenues. Yeah, time flies. I feel like I just thing from Dave F suggesting that I continue doing another challenge after the April painting challenge. All right, look at that. That's a beautiful highlight for Drogon. It's just enough. It's just enough of a highlight off of straight black, because he is a black dragon. So we don't want his scales to look gray. We do want him to continue looking like black dragon. I'll do a little bit more. I think I'll do the eyes in red. Red is going to be also an accent color for his scales. All right, I'll show you once again how good this 2/0 detail brush is by doing these red dragon eyes with it. Nice. I think I will build up to yellow, but we'll keep red as a base color. Bernard, sometimes for black, I highlight gray, then wash with black Templar contrast to bring it back down. Black Templar contrast is such a terrific color. I just released a video of how I use it to paint Death Core of Krieg burnished iron for their shoulder pads and for the helmets. I'll paint them in silver lead belcher first, and then wash it with that contrast, and it's such a great effect because it tones down the silver and it makes it look like burnt iron, because you could still see flecks of silver underneath that black, but it looks more like black armor, black iron. And then it's a different effect from the known oil wash on the weapons. So you could definitely tell that it's like black iron compared to the silver of the weapons. I love it. Black Templar is it's a real game changer. All right, let's do some teeth. Drogon, you want some teeth? Roker? All right. Rakarth flesh. Nice and simple. We might do a wraith bone highlight. Nice. I don't know if I want to do red wing membranes. I have to double check the art. My client sent me the artwork for Drogon, and there was red, definitely, but I don't remember how much of the miniature was red. I think it might just be the spines on his back and some scales, and maybe the wing membrane has like a undertone of red. Vallejo do something similar called Black Lotus. It has a tinge of blue. Nice. All right, then you know what? For now, let me just paint his tongue. The vibrant pop of red. And then yeah, I think I'll have to come back, but let's finish the base work, because I want to get this done for my client by tomorrow. And what an accomplishment! In one live stream, finished off Rhaegal, the Green Dragon, and started and finished Drogon. He's going to a tournament at the end of August. So he's like, there's a little bit of a time crunch on the dragons. And I said, brother, say no more. I'm only in the middle of the Great Crusade and developing this whole new product for all my friends on YouTube, but I will do it. Again, Geek Gaming Scenics for the basing glue, and then Patchy Plains. Ooh, this might be a little hard. This boy's a little bit bigger. I might need to get like a spoon or something. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Aaron Laird, hello. Thanks to everybody for liking too. For anybody who's hitting that like button, I do appreciate that. It helps get my content up the algorithm. Lots of sand in this one this time around. I'm an ASMR channel now. Yeah, you like that, Drogon. You like that grass. All right. That's like more sand. I gotta dig through this. In here. I don't know if I want to. I think I want to add any of the meadow flock into this because I don't want it to get all dusty and sandy. All right, now we'll do the meadow flock for Rhaegal or the Green Dragon. Doesn't need too much, I don't think. Yeah, that's perfect. The way he's perched on the thing, and it's not that much space because you've got some rocks and other things on the base. All right, then for this, because it's a little bit of a clump foliage, cool dragons. Thank you. I hand paint my miniatures also. Very cool. Mine aren't as good as yours though. Ah, you know what? Good is just another word for experienced. I've got a lot of experience painting. How does that? Yeah, that's cool, huh? Such a simple effect. Paint flaking off. So it's, yeah, just Gale Force 9. Hobby Metal Flock. All right, Drogon. Let's give you a little bit of decoration too. Anyone, how to get mastery points in Space Marine 2? Ruben, you're asking the wrong guy. I've got it downloaded. Haven't played it once. Oh, cool. Thanks, Bernard. Little wildflowers. What I realized is also a great tool to have is like a spray bottle, so that you could spray like water and Elmer's glue to fix the fix the scenic stuff to the bases. That's the one thing I wish I had. All right, nothing too fancy. Gale Force 9 Meadow Flock on top of Geek Gaming Scenic's Patchy Plains, all applied with basing glue from Geek Gaming Scenics, and right there, in the matter of minutes, I made a more realistic looking base than anything that I've ever done at the like when I was first getting into the hobby. When I was like hand painting, dry brushing all of the sand that I glued down, and then adding on little tufts of grass, little static grass clumps. Like just now, in the matter of minutes, I made an actual realistic looking wilderness base for my Drogon. What do you think, buddy? All right, love it. Thank you very much, Warbuster. I'm just gonna wait for that to dry a little bit, then I'll hit the base with a black rim. And all three of my dragons will be pretty much, the only thing I wanna do is probably fix up and clean up and add whatever red bits after I consult with the artwork. Let's do a light black here. I'm thinking of keeping the wings like a nice jet black to contrast with the highlighted gray scales. That's a good idea, Warbuster. I don't know why I've seen on Twitter lately people, because I guess they're talking about how Knight of the Seven Kingdoms got renewed, and or like when it's going to start in 2026 or something. And they're all like, are you guys hoping that we'll see a Jon Snow sequel series to Game of Thrones? And I'm like, not if it's going to be the same quality as the last couple of seasons. Hey-oh. What's the biggest dragon you've painted? Probably these. I've never I don't think I've ever painted a dragon. I've painted some other creatures, like I painted the old 1990s orcs and goblins wyvern with the like the shaman. No, I think it was like a war boss on a wyvern, where it was like metal, like the head was metal, but like the neck was plastic and the wings were plastic, and no, the body was all in metal too. I'm sorry, that's right. The only plastic thing on that thing was the wings. Thank you. These are actually a Song of Ice and Fire. The set is called Mother of Dragons. So if you click the link in the video, then I think I've linked the product. It comes with Daenerys as well as her 3 dragons, and the client that I'm painting this for, he painted Daenerys already, but he wanted me to do the dragons, and he wanted one of them to look like Sunfire from House of the Dragon. So I was like, which of these looks the most like Sunfire? And I think this one, Viserion. And if you look at the art of the dragons too, this one is Viserion is like a pale bone color with reddish skin color wings. So I was like, it just matches. It fits really perfectly that he looks the most color-wise. Because then you have, if I painted him like Viserion, he would have like a bone-colored, ivory-colored dragon, then the green Rhaegal, and then black Drogon. So I think for my client, it's a good-looking mixture. Instead of having a golden Sunfire and then a bone-colored Viserion, I think this is a better-looking color palette right here. The old orc models were great. Yes, they were. They were terrific. I love how brutish and apish they looked. They were really, really cool. I think they've slowly grown less hunched over, right? The newest orc boys models and the beast snagas, they don't look as apish. Like those older orc models, they're sticking out their butts like a silverback gorilla. They're all hulking and brutish. Yeah, old orc models just, they don't have that. All right, that's enough talk. Let's paint this base. I'm gonna use my size 4 golden maple detail brush. It's got a big fat head, just like me, my wife would say. Perfect for painting the rim of a base of a dragon. Wherever you guys are in the world, whatever you're doing, I hope you're safe and happy, and I hope you've got some miniatures to paint that make you happy. Like painting miniatures when I first got in the hobby, they did not spark joy. I did not have fun painting them. I used to carry them around in a big plastic bin. My poor orcs and goblins from the mid-90s, like 3rd edition Warhammer. They were mostly all metal models and just clunking around, bouncing around in this plastic bin every time I went to the game store. They were so abused, had hardly any paint on them.